Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English Learning Podcast. I'm Daniel, and I am so happy you are here today. I'm a teacher, and I love helping people find their voice in English.
And I'm Emma. I'm a student, and I'm ready to learn. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Emma. Today is going to be great. We are going to learn how to handle a full day in English, from the moment you wake up to ordering dinner at a restaurant. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to introduce yourself naturally, ask for help in a store, and talk about your life without feeling nervous.
That sounds perfect because I always get a little scared when I have to speak to a waiter or a shop assistant. I feel very shy.
That is okay, Emma. Mistakes help you learn. Everyone makes mistakes when they are learning something new. Today, we will practice step by step. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Now, Emma, how is it going today?
It's going pretty good. Or should I say great?
Both are good. How's it going is a casual way to ask, how are you? You can say pretty good, not bad, or even can't complain if you're feeling happy.
I like that. Can't complain. But Daniel, sometimes my friends say, "What's up?" and I never know what to say. Should I tell them my whole life story?
No, not at all. What's up is just a general way to ask what is happening. You don't need a long answer. You can just say, not much, or just studying.
Got it. So if I see you tomorrow, I can say, "Hey Daniel, what's up?"
Exactly right. Let's start with the morning. Emma, tell me about your typical morning routine.
Well, first my alarm goes off. I want to sleep more, but I usually wake up at 7. Oh, wait, Daniel, I have a question. Is there a difference between wake up and get up?
That is a great question. Wake up means you open your eyes and you are not sleeping anymore. Get up means you actually leave your bed and stand up. For example, I wake up at 6 a.m., but I stay in bed for 10 minutes, so I get up at 6:10 a.m.
I stay in bed for 30 minutes. So I wake up at 7, but I get up at 7:30. Then I go to the bathroom and wash my face. Cold water really helps me wake up. After that, I brush my teeth and get dressed.
Very good. Then I suppose you have breakfast.
Yes, I never skip breakfast because it gives me energy for the day. This morning, I wanted to make pancakes. I checked the kitchen for flour, eggs, and sugar, but then I realized I forgot to buy milk. I had to go to my neighbor to borrow some.
That was lucky. Now, listeners, did you notice Emma said the milk? In English, we use the for specific things. Emma wasn't looking for any random milk in the world. She was looking for the specific milk for her pancakes. If you see a random cat on the street, you say, I saw a cat. But if it's your cat, it's the cat.
Oh, so if I'm in my kitchen and I can't find my keys, I say, "Where are the keys?"
Perfect. Now, Emma, while you were making your pancakes, did you look outside at the weather?
Yes, I used a weather app on my phone. It says is sunny.
Wait, Emma, that is a very common mistake for beginners. In English, a verb must always have a subject. You cannot just say, is sunny. You must say, it is sunny.
I always forget that little word. So, it is cold or it is raining.
Exactly. Remember, if there is no real person or thing doing the action, we use it or there. For example, there is a park near my house.
Okay, I will remember that. It is sunny today, so I went for a short walk after breakfast. I saw some people walking their dogs. It was very peaceful.
That sounds like a wonderful start to the day. Listeners, it's time for a quick challenge. Tell us in the comments, what is the first thing you do when you get up? Do you drink coffee or tea? We love reading your stories.
Yes, please comment. Now, Daniel, can we talk about grammar? I always get confused when I talk about other people.
Of course. We use the present simple tense for routines and habits. For I, you, we, or they, the verb is simple. I wake up, we eat. But for he, she, or it, we must add an S to the end of the verb.
Right, so I drink coffee, but Sarah drinks tea.
Perfect. And watch out for the verb to have. I have breakfast, but he has breakfast, not haves.
Halves sounds funny. He has breakfast. Daniel, I have a friend named Marco. He go to university.
Very close. Remember the rule for he?
Oh, he goes to university.
Exactly right. You've got it. Step by step, Emma. Now, let's practice some pronunciation. This is very important because it helps people understand you easily. One great way to improve is shadowing.
Shadowing like a ghost?
No, it means you listen to me and repeat exactly what I say, imitating my sounds and my rhythm. Let's try it with a sentence that has B and V sounds. Beginners often mix them up. For B, your lips should join together. For V, your top teeth should touch your bottom lip.
Okay, I'm ready.
Repeat after me. I'd like a very big beverage, please.
I'd like a very big beverage, please.
Good. Beverage. Feel that V sound?
Yes, it's like exercise for my mouth.
It really is. Another thing to watch is the length of your vowels. We have minimal pairs, which are words that sound almost the same except for one sound. A big one is ship and sheep. Ship has a short sound and sheep has a long sound.
Oh, so if I say, I want to live here, but I use a long E sound, does it sound different?
Yes, it sounds like I want to leave here. That could be a big misunderstanding if you are at a party.
Oh no! I will be very careful with my ships and my sheep.
Good. Let's move on to our afternoon. Emma, imagine we are at the supermarket. You are looking for pasta, but you can't find it. What do you say to the employee?
I say, excuse me, could you help me please?
Very polite.
Then I say, I'm looking for pasta. Could you tell me where I can find it?
The employee says, certainly, the pasta is in aisle 7 next to the sauces.
I say, got it. Thank you so much. Daniel, is got it okay to say to a teacher?
It is a casual way to say I understand. It's very common with friends or in stores, but in a formal place, it is better to say I understand or thank you. Now, when you get to the checkout, the cashier might ask, would you like a bag for your groceries?
Yes, please. And then I have to pay. Do you accept credit cards?
Yes, we do. Emma, I have a little story for you. Last week, I went to a local market to buy fresh vegetables. I wanted to make soup. Everything looked so fresh because it came from a local farm. I bought some carrots, onions, and a small bunch of basil.
How much was everything?
It was $12 altogether, which is very reasonable. I like shopping early because the market gets very busy later.
I agree. I don't like busy places. Daniel, I have a grammar question about my work. I'm a student, but I have a part-time job. Is it I have a new work or I have a new job?
Ah, that is a common mistake. Work is usually an activity, but job is the specific position you have. You should say, I have a new job.
Okay, I have a new job, and I speak English well.
Perfect. You used well correctly. Many people say, I speak English good, but good is an adjective and well is an adverb that describes how you speak. You're doing great, Emma.
Thank you. You give me confidence today. Before we finish, I'm starving. Can we go to a restaurant?
Let's do it. Imagine we arrive at a nice Italian restaurant. The host asks, do you have a reservation?
We don't have one, so I say, no, table for two, please.
The host says there's a 20-minute wait.
That's okay, we can wait. When we sit down, I say, can I see the menu, please?
Here's the menu. What would you like to order?
I would like a chicken sandwich, please. But Daniel, I don't like cheese. How do I say that?
You can just say without cheese, please, or could I have the sandwich but no cheese?
A chicken sandwich, no cheese, please. And for a drink, can I have one coffee, please? Hot and large size.
Coming right up. Listeners, did you hear how Emma ordered? She used please and I would like. This is the best way to be polite in English.
Daniel, I'm really full now. The food was delicious. Can I have the check, please?
Of course. And remember, in the US, people often take their leftover food home. You can ask, would you like a box for your leftovers?
Yes, please. I would love to take it home for lunch tomorrow.
That is a great way to save money. Now, before we say goodbye, let's do a very quick review of what we learned today.
We learned the difference between wake up and get up. We learned that for he and she, we add an S to the verb, like he goes.
We also practiced the B and V sounds and the difference between ship and sheep. And we practiced ordering food politely.
I feel much better about speaking now. It really is easier when you explain it slowly.
Slow and clear always wins, Emma. Here is a final challenge for our listeners. Describe your day in just 3 sentences in the comments. For example, I wake up at 8. I go to work